Hi everyone, so today I want to show you a card which I saw online, and I quite like it. So I've done a few little tweaks. You know me, I always do a few little tweaks. So it's a gatefold card. It's got a belly band on it, and you obviously slide your belly band off. And then when you open it up, you have a cascading front piece to it. So if I stand this up, you'll see how it goes on your desk. So it stands forward like that on your desk. See that? And then when it's up, it'll look a bit like that. So it's really nice. Relatively easy to do. I mean, it's a bit complicated in places, but it's not too bad. I've just put a couple of flowers in. Probably could have done a few more, but anyway, whatever. But yeah, so that's what I did. And these were the papers that I bought at the craft show that I showed you in the craft haul I did recently. Yeah, and then I've just put a little greeting on the front. So that's the card that we're going to do today. I'm actually going to be using Antonio Makes papers for today's card. If you use code Louise10, then you can get 10% off your order. So don't forget to do that. So yeah, so let's get into it. So for this card, I'm going to be using, as I said, the Antonio Makes paper. So you can use code Louise10. I'll put it up on the screen to get a discount, 10% discount. And you also need, I've done two patterns. So I've actually done three patterns. I've got pattern A, pattern B and pattern C, which I also did on that original one. But it's up to you. You can keep the same pattern or you can just do two. It's really up to you what you want to do. I'm also using this Laminetta card, which I got at the show. So I'm going to use that as well. So let's start with the main pieces. So the two main, well, you have three pieces actually. Three pieces that are 7 by 10.5. Okay, so on one of them, because they're not all going to be scored the same, on one you want to score at 2.5, at 2 3/4, at 7 3/4, and at 8. Okay, so that's one piece, and you can put that to one side. Then the other two pieces that you got left are going to be scored the same as each other. So these are going to be scored at 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. So you can do the same score lines again on the one you've just done. Then you also need one connecting piece which is 1 inch by 4 inches, and another piece that's 1 inch by 3. Now this one we're actually going to cut down, but it works out easier if you just score it at the same time and then cut it. So both of these pieces you're going to score halfway at 1/2 inch. Now mine is 1 1/8 because that's just what I had left over. Don't worry about that, just score it halfway. So if it's slightly bigger than 1 inch, it doesn't matter because it's just literally a connecting tab. Okay, so you've got your two pieces, so we can put the scoreboard away. Okay, so the first one that we scored, where we just did the two score lines that were 1/4 inch apart, you're just going to mounting fold all of those score lines. So that should give you that. So you've got a little bit of a, like a little bit of a spine, I guess you'd call it, in the middle there. And that's just to accommodate all of the bulk of your card. So you can put that piece to one side. Then if you bring your other two pieces in, what you want to do is just take your tab and fold it over, and then you just want to measure up, so that's your tab end. So from the other side you're just going to take a ruler and a pencil, and from the bottom edge up you're going to measure up 2 inches. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut. You can draw a line if you want to, but you'll need to rub it out. I'm going to draw it so you can see it. You're going to cut from this corner here. Make sure your tab's folded back. You're going to cut from that corner all the way down to your mark. Okay, like that. Hopefully you can see. So there's my tab. Right, and I'm going to do the same on this one. But what I'm going to do, you can just turn it round, but I'm just going to turn it so that it's the way the tabs are both in the middle. It just helps my brain if I do it that way around, and then I know I've definitely got it the right, I'm definitely going to be okay. So with this one it's the same again, so you're just doing it the opposite around. So you're going from that top corner where the tab is down to 2 inches up from the bottom on here. So we're going to go 2 inches up, which is there, And then again, I'm just going to draw a line from that mark to the corner of the folded tab, which is there. I've not done it too dark because I don't really want to have to rub it all out. So I've got one line going up here, and I've got one line going from here down here, and both tabs are folded back. So I'm now going to go ahead and just cut these off. Okay, so once you've cut them, you should end up with that. And so here's my tab at the back there, and you've automatically notched that out, which is perfect because you want it to be like that. So that's really good. So then these two pieces are not needed, so we can get rid of those two pieces for now. And then what you want to do is with these, you're going to concertina them. So you've already got a mountain fold. So next going to be a valley, a mountain, and a valley. And you're going to do the same with this one. So you've already got a mountain, a valley, mountain, valley. So I'm going to go ahead and fold these up. So you should end up with that, hopefully. So you've got two pieces that are folded like that. So now what we're going to do is bring our other card back in. And I'm just going to put some wet glue. You can put red tape if you want, or wet glue, whatever you want. I prefer wet glue just because you've got a bit more time to kind of wiggle it into place. But it's really up to you, whatever you get on better with. And what we want to do is just put a bit of wet glue or whatever it is you're going to use on that tab. Like that. And then we are going to fold it over very carefully. And we're going to line that up with your first score line from the middle. So that one there. Just pop this all under. And make sure it's lined up along the bottom and along the side. And you're just going to stick that whole piece down. So like that. So as you can see, that's where your tab is there. Just make sure it's nice and straight. And then take your next one, and that is going to line up next to it. Like that. And again, just make sure this score line here doesn't go past that first inner score line. So I'm just going to go ahead now, add some glue onto this one. Fold it under. And then stick it down so it butts right up against the one you've already stuck down. So you should end up with that. So that's your kind of like the beginnings of your middle piece. So then what you want to do is we're now going to decorate the front of our card and also part of the inside. So if we just close it up, so we've got the front doors here. So on the front here, you're going to need two pieces of pattern paper that are 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. So I've gone for the Antonio Makes Christmas paper. So that's going to go on the front there like that. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. Okay, so once you've done that, you should end up with that. Now you're going to need 4 more pieces actually, the same size, so 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. You're going to need 2 that are going to go on the inside here, like that, and 2 that are going to go here and here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick these down, and then I'll come to the other one in a moment. Okay, so that's those pieces all stuck down. So next you need another 2 pieces of patterned paper, and these need to be 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. Now I've actually cut mine a little bit too short, so I'm going to stick mine down. I'm going to show you how to get the angle, and then I'm going to stick mine down, and I'll have a bigger border at the top, okay, but you won't have that. So anyway, right, so we're going to take, let's go for this one here. So that's going to go, so I don't know if you can see, I've got a nice even border around the outside, but at the top here I'm going to end up with too big a border. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it over, and on the back I am just going to line it up so that this corner comes in line with the edge that's going the other way. I'm going to take my ruler and my pencil, and I'm just going to draw a line from that corner piece basically along the edge of the card is what I'm going to do. So it's along there like that. So that then mirrors that line that you can see there, the cut edge line. And then what I'm going to do is take my other piece, so I've got my 2 pieces, put them face to face, because obviously I've drawn on the back, and then we're going to cut through both pieces at the same time. And obviously I'll probably normally do this on a guillotine, but I'm going to do it with scissors just to be daring. And we're going to cut that off like that. So then that will leave you with your 2 pieces of pattern paper, and these then should nicely line up with your edge that you have there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I could leave them up there like that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide mine down slightly, and I'm actually going to put some little gems on mine because all of my pieces I've cut are too short. Okay, so yours will fit lovely because you've got the right measurements. I, however, haven't. So for that reason, I'm just going to go ahead and stick mine down, and I'm going to add little gems on mine. So you should end up with 2 pieces like that. Then we're going to fold this over and this one over, you can fold it down, and we're going to put 2 pieces on here. Now these 2 pieces need to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now again, mine are too small. Let me just double check that 5 1/2. Yeah, 5 1/2 is good. Mine are too small because I cut mine too small. So again, I'm going to leave a gap at the top for mine, but you're going to do exactly the same again. So again, just lay it on. And what I would do is just make sure your border left and right is good, and line up that corner with the diagonal line. And then if you just take a pencil, you can make a mark where it meets there, and then just draw a line between that top corner and your pencil mark like that. And then again, put your 2 pieces face to face and cut down that line. And then you're going to go ahead and stick those into place. And again, I'm going to leave a bigger border at the top because I've cut mine too short. I'm just going to put some gems in there, but I'm going to go ahead and stick those down. Okay, so that's those 2 pieces. So we've just got these 2 pieces here now to do. So these 2 are going to measure 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And again, I've cut mine too small, but they are going to go there and there. So exactly the same again, just lay them down and then make sure that your left and right marries up. Again, just eye it. So a bit like there. There we go. And then we're going to draw a line. Put them face to face. And then cut down. And then we're just going to go ahead and stick those onto there. Okay, and then last but not least, we've just got the front sections to do. So again, exactly the same again. Okay, so next you want to bring your 2 connecting tabs in. So as I said, one's 1 by 1 inch by 4 inch, and you've scored it halfway at 1/2 inch. The other one's 1 by 3, and you've scored it halfway at 1/2 inch. This one actually will be cut down in a minute, but let's deal with the big one first. So on both of them, you need to put red tape either side of your score line. Okay, so on this one here, we'll deal with this one first. Just bend it in the middle, make it a mountain fold like that. And then if you peel off part of your tape, just peel this back. So obviously you've got this main bit here, and on the back side of this bit is where you're going to stick this. So if you open the whole thing out like this, so you're completely open, take your tab, your connecting piece, and you want to put it so that it's pretty much more or less lined up with the bottom, a little bit up from the bottom, and that your center fold line, your fold line that goes down the middle, lines up with the center line of the card. You're then going to take your card and just kind of fold it over and it will stick to the back of that piece there. I've got to make sure it's all lined up like that, and then take the rest of that card off, which then gives you this. So you've got your flappy bit and you've got this little tab on the edge of it. Then you're going to peel off the backing of that piece, and you're just going to bring this over and stick it shut, and that then gives you that bit there, which is like your your first connection. Okay, now we're going to do the same on the front here, but first of all what we want to do is you want to cut this down, and you want to make sure that you've got a 2-inch piece, or more or less 2 inch. It can be 1 7/8. I'm going to make mine 1 7/8, and then the other bit, the bit that's left, just cut it in half. Okay, so I've done 2 little lines there. So I'm just going to fold that whole thing in half, and then just by eye I'm just going to cut it down where that mark is. So it doesn't matter if it's not completely straight, it's about there, and then this one needs to be about there. So you'll be left with one that's 2 inches high and 2 little pieces that are, I don't know, 1/2 inch or something like that. Now what we need to do, and I should have done it before we stuck the front pieces down, but I forgot, so we'll have to deal with that in a minute. But we should have left these front layers off, because then these tab pieces could have stuck in between the front layer and the actual card, but I forgot to do that, so it doesn't matter, we'll come back to that in a minute. So then what we want to do is take our tab piece and again take off one side, open it up. You want to lay this on so that the center fold line lines up with the center of your card. Hold the non-sticky side and stick the other side, which is sticky, on, so you end up with this. And then we're going to peel the backing off of this side and then just shut that down on there, and that means then you end up with your front piece that folds forward like that. Okay, and then these two are actually going to be little tabs. They're going to stick like that, and we're going to stick the greeting on the front. So it's just a shame, because obviously I didn't really want the white to be shown on there, but I mean the greeting is going to be on the front there anyway, so we'll come back to those in a minute, but just keep them handy. So now I'm just going to go ahead now and decorate these edges that are a bit too big with some gems, and I will come back to you in a moment. Right, so I found a greeting that was from an old magazine, so I'm going to use that. I'm just going to check my little tabs that we made earlier are not too wide. No, that one's fine, and that one's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the little tab. I'm just going to trim that excess off because it doesn't need to be as wide as it is. And then I'm going to take my little tab and peel the backing off one side, and then make sure that folded edge lines up with the middle of your card, and then do the same with the other one, and just butt the two up together so you've got folded edges both in the middle like that. And then what you want to do is just take your little bits of backing tape off, take your greeting and very carefully stick it over the top, making sure it's straight and it's central like that. And so then when it stands forward, that bit also pops forward. So if I just pop that up, you'll see that also pops forward like that. Okay, so that then pops forward, and if you wanted to, you can have things coming out of here like I did with the other one. I'm probably not going to on this one. And then all you need to do is obviously fold it up, and then you just need a belly band. So for the belly band, I've just taken a piece, and this was actually an offcut piece that was about 1.5 by the length of an A4, and that's just going to wrap around. So I'm just going to wrap it around myself. I'm not going to bother scoring it because I find it's better if you just kind of wrap it around. Obviously it depends on the card, because some card might not crease very well. So just wrap that around like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick that on the front, add some ribbon, and then add a topper in the middle. And then I've just finished it off with a belly band, and I just stuck this die cut bauble on, and then like a little season's greetings. It's not quite stuck yet, so I'm not going to fiddle with it too much, but little season's greetings on the bottom, and so that then just flips over the top here and secures the whole thing shut. So there we go. Obviously you could do whatever you want with it. But yeah, so that's the cards. I hope you like it. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell below, leave a comment. And also don't forget you can be a member. There's some exciting things coming up hopefully in 2023 for anybody who's a member. So yeah, become a member and then you'll find out what they're about. So yeah, I'll keep you all up to date with that anyway. And yeah, don't forget to go over to antoniomakes.com and check out his digital kits. They're really good. Don't forget to use my code Louise10, which will get you 10% off your order. So yeah, so I hope you liked today. Just in case you're wondering where you write on this card, you write on the back. So if you wanted to do another panel on the back, like a matte and then a white panel, you could do that on the back. I've just left mine blank because I'm using a white base, so it seems silly to add anything else on. But yeah, that's where you write anyway. So yes, I hope you liked today. I'll see you next time. Bye.